Hi guys, I'm Bex from Trista and I'm here with Matt from Big Evil Corp. I like the name. And they've created Tanglewood, which is this rather amazing actual Megadrive proper in a box on a 16-bit kart game. And this must be a massive labour of love from you. Like, how long has this taken?
About 6 years from start to finish, this one. Most of that was learning how to do it though.
Because you've written it in the code as it would have been coded as a proper Megadrive, like a dev kit style project, right?
Yeah, it was with original technology of the 90s, the same dev kits, the same assembly language. We even wrote our own tools like they would have done back in the 90s. It was kick-started back in 2016. We got £55,000 for it. But yeah, it's taken 6 years to make, but yeah, we finally made it.
Was that more than your original Kickstarter goal?
Yeah, the goal was 48k, I think, and we got 55-ish.
So it shows there's still a lot of interest and love in having games made for the original consoles on those consoles still.
Yeah, it certainly is. A lot more than I originally thought. This thing has just exploded. It's gone far bigger than I ever expected it would. And I'm really happy about that. It's been a really difficult thing to keep on top of it.
But entirely worth it. It looks like a labour of love.
Oh, yeah, definitely worth it. It's my dream come true, this, and I'm happy to see it out.
Can you tell me a little bit about the story
Yeah,
and
sure.
the gameplay?
It stars a little fox, like character called Nim, and he's lost from home, and he's lost out after dark, which his kind aren't supposed to be after dark. So monsters coming after him, he needs to try and evade them, kill them, and try and survive the night and get to morning. It's very much like games like Another World and Flashback, Abe's Odyssey. So it's a platform puzzler with action and chase sections. There's some boss fights. There's a big swamp monster you have to fight in one of the later chapters. There's a final boss as well, and lots of chase scenes. So get used to being chased. Try not to get eaten by this demon and any of the monsters.
What are the little fluffy things called that you change colour?
The little fluffy things, they're fuzzles. They're little powerful creatures with no arms and no legs. So you have to help them back to their nest to obtain their powers. They're the only thing in the game that doesn't kill you. They probably would if they could, they just don't have any arms. There's 4 different coloured fuzzles, no, 5 different coloured fuzzles, an extra hidden one towards the end. The yellow ones let you glide, the green ones which let you stop time, blue ones which let you take control of monsters and ride their backs, and the red ones which you use as a power source, you shove them into a generator.
They're sort of slightly Studio Ghibli looking.
I only recently got into Ghibli. Certainly when I started the game, I'd not watched any of the films. It's only something I recently caught up on.
But then again, fuzzy little ball with eyes is just universally cute.
Yeah, it is, yeah. There's little fuzzy balls used as ammo in Oddworld Stranger's Wrath. You load them into a crossbow and you fire them. They've got little sharp teeth. Probably where the inspiration for this came from.
Your ones are slightly friendlier though.
Yeah.
Where was your kind of influence for the musical style? Did you want the player to kind of feel like it was a kind of a dreamy kind of situation?
Yeah, it's incidental music, so when something interesting happens you get music, otherwise the game's quite quiet and ambient. I enjoy games like Playdead's Inside and Limbo, where the music's quite calm and sparsely used, just used for effect. I didn't want constant rolling background music like games in the 90s did. It wouldn't have suited the style of this game at all.
The background colours change and the music changes when you come across things that could be dangerous. Does that mood continue to kind of fluctuate through the game?
Yeah, it does. There's time of day sequence, so the darker it gets, the more dangerous the game is. The bigger the enemies come out, and that's reflected all the way through the game. There's several time of day cycles for each chapter.
It's really fluid, the movement in the game. It looks really beautiful. How did you go about storyboarding the motions and the movements and things? What were your other influences for how the game moves and interacts?
The player animation was mostly inspired by the 16-bit Lion King for the Megadrive. I really like the high frame animation count, the fluid running look of Simba in that game. So yeah, a lot of inspiration came from that game for the animation side.
What were the games that you loved playing on the Megadrive when you were growing up?
It was mostly platformers, obviously all the Sonic the Hedgehogs, Flashback, Another World, things like that. Most of the Disney games were top shelf gold games, they were fantastic. I also loved a couple of action games, things like Terminator. I had the Menace of Light gun as well, so I had the Toe Jam and Earl's Ready Aim Tomatoes for that. I absolutely adored that.
I wish I had that. I really wanted one of those. I was quite jealous of anyone that had those.
I've still got it, I just don't have any of the attachments for it, because I used to have scopes and removable arms for it and stuff, but I don't have that anymore. It still works though.
So these dev kits for the Mega Drive are pretty rare.
As far as I know, there are only 2 working that we found. There's a guy in Australia who's got one of these. It took a long time to find all the parts for it. Some parts came from some forums, some from eBay, parts came from the States, from Australia. It's taken a very long time to put together.
And how are the cartridges put together? These got original boards inside them?
They got original 90s EP ROMs in them. And the boards we had manufactured in China ourselves. We had our own cartridge press made for the shells. All the printing work has been done locally. So yeah, it's all been done by ourselves, all completely from scratch.
Is these a limited run of the physical game cartridges?
We're going to keep doing them in batches as long as people keep pre-ordering them. The first batch at least is going to be very 90s authentic. We're going to be using EP ROMs for them. We're running out of sources for them though, so they're while stocks last. The next batch we're going to do is probably a flash-based alternative. It'll still be in the original 90s cartridges, still with the same cases and manuals, but the chip inside might be slightly different.
You built a lot of this game entirely on your own as your own passion project and just brought in outside artists to make your vision kind of come to life effectively. I mean, it's finished now.
Yep.
And it's here. And people seem to be loving it so far. What kind of feedback have you been getting from people?
Very big reviews. We've been having 8 and 9 out of 10 reviews. Some big sites have covered it. We've had a 79 Metacritic for it.
Wow.
It's just taken off bigger than I ever imagined. So.
Yeah, I mean, it looks stunning. The colours are beautiful. It sounds amazing. And I'm just so overwhelmed by actually the fact it's on a cartridge and you didn't just go straight for the kind of emulation route. What was it that drove you to want to make it on the 90s sort of hardware and software?
Something I wanted to do since I was a kid, because I grew up playing the Mega Drive. Grew up learning to code as well on the Commodore 64.
Yeah,
Since I was a young kid, I wanted to make my own game for my favourite console. I guess I just never grew up, really.
That's a perfectly legit reason to do something. Probably actually one of the best reasons to do something. And now you're here and you're at EGX and you're getting all this amazing feedback. What's next for you guys? Is there going to be a Tanglewood 2? And is that going to be another 5 years?
Possibly. People keep asking for a sequel. I'm more interested in a prequel.
In a prequel?
That will be on the Mega Drive as well. First thing we're doing is porting the first one to the Dreamcast. We're talking to publishers about Switch, PS4 and Xbox One. There's also been some interest for an Amiga 500 port, so we're looking into that at the moment.
Oh wow.
And after that we've got another game in the works, which is going to be a sci-fi based game on the Mega Drive. After that I'm very much interested in writing a prequel.
There you go, well you heard it here, possibly a prequel to Tanglewood rather than a sequel. That's just as good really. Are you tempted to make the prequel be on the Master System just to make it, or is that just too much?
Maybe, if we can get hold of the original development hardware, because that's one of my rules, I'll only make it if I can get original dev kits.
It's so nostalgic, it's so beautiful and it's so pretty. Thank you so much for spending the time to make something this wonderful. I really, really appreciate it.
That's okay.
Have you guys got a website where people can look you up?
Yep, tanglewoodgame.com.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you very much.